And hello, we're back again. So we've talked about the menu items. I think the next thing we shall do is create our news area. So let me show you on our Pony Club website. This menu here, Club News. This is actually a special page. It's not a normal HTML page. This is actually a news article manager. So I'm going to show you how to add that. This is, you have to do that before you can use the rotator, etc. So let's get this club news happening. Okay, so we're back in our new web page, our new website, and let's go and create a page. So page, add a new page. And of course, have to log in. So we're going to call this one the Club News. And it's going to, and we don't want a parent page because I actually want this to be right at the top. So none specified is the parent page. Okay, so let's create that page. Club News. It's blank, and we're going to do some stuff and make it do something. So let's add a module, and it's going to be a new module. We haven't previously used one, and it has news in the name, and there's quite a few of them. And let me just go through. It's the Easy DNN News. So let's try that. Okay. So click on it. Actually, this is, did you see that? It didn't do the navigator. Anyway, we're going to add this to the content pane. The content, we've used sidebar before. The content pane is new. It's, I'll show you where that ends up. Okay, let's try that again. So find the news. And it was definitely, there we go. We'll add Easy DNNS News. This is the news management application. And yes, so you have to, it's not giving me the, so I click here and then when I come back in, it's there. All right, so sidebar 1. Oops, I put that in the wrong place. Let's actually move it to content pane. Okay, we have that there. You can edit the settings. I just use the default settings, and you just click on this link here and it sets it up. There we go. And you've just set up your news article manager. So what does this look like? If I close edit mode, this is your admin access, and you have add an article, the article manager, dashboards, and settings. And to the end user, you basically would end up with a view that looks like this, Club News. So we've added the article editor here. Let's actually have a go at adding an article and just see what that looks like. Welcome. We're going to create a welcome page. Okay, we got a title there. This is the summary, and I don't really use that. It appears on the rotator if you hover over it, and I don't think anyone's ever actually read it. But anyway, that's this is our article. This is our first article. And here you can add pictures. I'm not going to bother. You can actually add documents. Now, this actually is quite cool if you, for example, have a competition coming up. You create an article. a news article, and you might put your entry forms on that on here. You can download that, and then you can have a link. You can also add in links to other pages, to articles, etc. This is the important parts. Add as an event. So we're going to make that a featured article. That makes sure it appears on the rotator when we set that up. Publish date. So it's the 25th of October today. Expiry date. Well, not much point having it expire that soon. So let's. Oh, look, it's 3019. Well, hopefully we won't be around then. But anyway, so it's not going to expire for a long time. Now, this is another important area. When you create an article, when you first create it, until you finish editing it, make it a draft article, and then it doesn't appear on your live website. People won't be able to read your half-finished work. For this one, it's a test website, so I'm just going to publish it. Save the article. Okay. I didn't select the category, so you get the error messages here. Categories are useful. In this case, I'm going to leave it as the standard category, which is uncategorized. But you can definitely create categories. You might have a category, for example, for rally information, competitions. For now, I'm just going to make this uncategorized. We'll come back in and fix that later. So I've just clicked save, and it's saving the article. And we should see, if I click back on Club News, we've got one article there now. Now, we talked about categories. Let's go and fix up our categories. So let's go to Dashboard. And in here is somewhere, there we go, Category Manager. So uncategorized, let's add a category. So let's create Rosebud Pony Club. And we're not going to select a parent category. You can provide descriptions and pictures and so on, which I'm sure will have some use. I haven't actually found out where those appear yet, but anyway, we'll just create that. Now, under Rosebud Pony Club, I'm going to create a category called Rally Updates. And the parent category is Rosebud Pony Club. Add a category. And we've got Rally Updates. Let's add competitions. Oh, I've messed that up. Yeah. So it needs to be indented to make sure it comes under Rosebud Pony Club. So the overall category is Rosebud Pony Club, and there's a subcategory Rally Updates, competitions, and I think we should do training days as well. They're often good. And the parent category here is Rosebud Pony Club, and we add that new category. All right, we have our article categories. So if we go back into Club News and edit this article, we can now move it. This is, I guess we'll put it under the Rosebud Pony Club. It's not uncategorized anymore. And we update the article. And in fact, let's update and view it. There we go. This is our article. This is how it would appear to your general public, whoever's got access to this. You can see the text we type in there. There's some really cool features here that you get with these articles. Well, I guess some people would like the print option, but you've also got the ability to like it and share it on Facebook. That's pretty cool. And leave comments. Hopefully they're polite, but yes, people can leave comments about your articles. So that's the first part of setting up your Club News. And we now have a menu item there with the news articles in there. The next step is the cool part. We want to stick a rotator on the front page. Now, what is the rotator? Let's go back to our Monbot Pony Club page. Well, you can see here we've got our news articles. Notice I'm not logged in as an administrator on this page because I don't have that many there for editing the articles. But the rotator is on the front page, and it's this thing here which brings up all the pictures. So let's have a go at adding that to our home page. So modules, and we're going to add a new module, and it's asking me to log in again. Okay, we've logged in. Now let's add a new module, and in this case it's going to be something called a rotate. Oops, no, search for here, rotate or Easy DNN Rotator. This is part of the Easy.NET Nuke suite, which we've just used the news article manager on. Now, you remember I mentioned in one of the previous videos, when you first click on these blocks, you don't get that navigator thing, so you can't really add it to the page. But the way to fix that is just click somewhere out here and come back in, and then it magically appears. Don't know why that is, but it's just a little trick to make things interesting. So we're going to add that to the sidebar. I didn't actually mean to add that to the sidebar. So let's move it to the content pane. That's where I wanted it. Alrighty, we have our rotator. And now we're going to have the fun and joy of setting this up. So rotator settings. This is where you configure the type of rotator. Now, it's pretty interesting. You can really you can make the rotator drive off pictures on your from your website. So in our case, I really want it to be driven off our news articles, and that's where you select here. But you can actually create it so that it drives off pictures, videos, any other sort of content. Is really quite interesting. Now, for me, I think the one we used on the Monbot Pony Club, we went through all of these, and there's some really, well, actually, let's try one. Let's try the tab rotator. So you see it selected, and select the content source, news module. We wanted to show the news articles, and this is where you get dozens of options, and that's okay because you don't really need to change much at all. Portal sharing, I'll come back to this. For your standard rotator, you don't need to worry about that. Select instance of the news article. Yep, we want that in our club news. That's correct. Display all of the categories. So remember, we created categories for news articles. You might, perhaps you only want to show your competition articles on the front page. Well, if you unselected this, you should be able to select the categories. And you can select articles and events. If you differentiate them when you create your articles, you can separate them out. Displaying of past events. I prefer to show all, and we limit it by the number of articles limiting the number of articles. Here we go. I'm going to leave it at 4. So I'm just going to limit it at 4. Okay, and keep going down. I'm going to ignore all of that. There's you can literally there's hundreds of options in here, but let's leave it all as the default. You can have some good fun playing with all of those. The selected source in the rotator does not contain any items. Please change the settings, the selection. Let's just make sure I've set that up correctly. The source was news module. Okay. I shouldn't need to select that. Okay. Okay. Well, that didn't work. So let's have a look. I think the key issue that the reason those articles weren't appearing is because I didn't create the rotator image. So these are the original articles. I've created one here now, and it's called test with a picture. And let's have a quick look and see when we edit the article. If you scroll, so this is the article. And the problem was that I didn't have a gallery image. So let's upload an image. I'm just going to pick any random image and upload it to the server. And you notice now it says this image is selected as the main article image. And it showed the main article image on the article list. That was the bit that was missing previously, which was why there were no actual problems with that rotator setup. It was just that I didn't have anything for it to show. So we've only got one image on this, this article. If you wanted more, you can add them here. Select the images and upload them. One's enough for just to get the rotator working. We update the article and close. We don't need to edit it anymore. And notice it's had publish. And you notice now we have an image here on the Club News. So if you click on Club News, now you will see the rotator is working. I don't like the layouts on this. You notice how it's shifted over to the right, and these summary tabs are a little bit large. We can fix that in the rotator settings. We'll try a multi-carousel rotator. As I said, there's lots of settings here, lots of things you can play with, and you just find one that works best for your website. So we're just trying a multi-carousel, and yeah, well, you get the two images that you can click on and view. So what you could have done was made those images like a PowerPoint presentation image with details with text on it, so that it's inviting to click in, and this would actually be quite a nice front page. The one we've been using, I've been using, is the advanced rotator, and yep, the advanced rotator. And there are some defaults you can load in. I don't think the first set of defaults works particularly well. I didn't get that to load, but the second one does. In fact, here I will click on it and there'll be an error. Settings load fail. So let's try the second one. The second one gives loads the default settings for the rotator in and gives it another different look and feel. I'm going to scroll down and ignore those. I'm accepting all the defaults for that, whatever comes in from that file we just loaded, Advanced Rotator Setup 2, or whatever it was called. And there, we're actually getting pretty close to what I had on the Monbulk Pony Club webpage. It's now fitting in nicely. The text that describes it is appearing on the image, which I don't really like, but I'll fix that up. We'll fix that up. But we're getting closer. Still got this text title here, Easy DNS Rotator, so we can edit that page and get rid of it. I don't want it to say that on a public web page. You could change, I'm removing it, but you could put a note here about clicking on the image below to see the article or something like that. I actually did that on our page by putting in an HTML region and an image, which I've made up using PowerPoint. So we've saved that, and there we go. Our heading's gone. So if we get out of edit mode, this is what the page looks like. It's getting closer. And certainly, I think in a following video, I'll upload something about how to finish off setting up the rotator. But you know, you've got your basic image there, you've got your articles, and we've got the club news set up. So this video, we've covered creating your club news area, creating some articles, and making this rotator so it displays them. And this will be one of the key ways that people will get in and find information out about your club. I think that brings